Hello, gang. I have cited almost 20 similarities between my story here in Canada, Quebec, and Alexandra's story here in Canada, Quebec. I am convinced that if we saw each other, we would come up with more similarities. So, the big lessons I have learned since then is that except psychos who want blood, who want to kill for no reason, anyone and everybody can be a murderer. If you didn't refused a big amount of money to save your relative's life, if you didn't choose to pay for your crimes than to end an innocent life, don't praise yourself. In my case, I am at least aware of 4 cases where a best friend or close person tried to kill me. First, every year I go to Congo for my vacations. I have never got sick when there, except in 2022. I spent the whole night in the toilet the first day. It was just flowing, flowing, flowing. At some point, I thought that even my trips were evacuated. I got so thin in less than 24 hours. My family thought I was going to leave them. I came back to Canada. My best friend, who was in Canada, Montreal, Quebec, asked me, instead of just sending me a message, "Are you back?" He sent someone from Congo with an unknown number to ask me if I was back in Canada. Why? And I remembered I went to his wife's place and ate there. So, what happened in that food? Question mark. Second, on my birthday in 2023 or 24, my new bestie invited me to a restaurant. I couldn't digest what I ate for 24 hours. I had like a stone in my belly. It didn't pass through. I couldn't eat nothing. Then she called me to ask how I was doing. I was like, this is strange. She never does that. And her mom wanted to come at my place for the night, but she refused. So, question mark, what was put in my food? Third, my new bestie invited me to a chalet with a 50% sugary alcohol and a swimming project. Why? Question mark. Fourth, my landlord. Why is he inviting me to go swim? Look what my water in my apartment did to my skin. I was breathless. I was vomiting blood. I couldn't run. I couldn't sing. I was tired and had headaches for days. And I got some rusting in my pants. And when I confronted him, he came and spent 3 hours in my plumbing just to change a faucet. What was he changing that day? And what was he doing in my apartment with me not being there? Question mark. So you see, these people, at first, they are good people. And I didn't understand all the attacks against me while they were happening. I understood later. And I think that's why I am still alive. Because if for example, I confronted my friend at the chalet, what could have happened? Because it's an isolated place. And all my life, I have tried to be more quick. I saw it as a flaw. And I was mad at God at some point. I was like, why? Why didn't you take me instead of Alexandra? Because when Alexandra passed, I was so depressed. I didn't want to live. Today, I understand why. Because if I was taken, my story wouldn't fly as Alexandra's did. So Alexandra is a light in our darkness. She is a light in our hypocrisy here in Canada. She is a light in our lies here in Canada. And with all the attacks by my friends against me, I can't say that if God asked me to choose between Alexandra and me, I would have said to take me. Because my friends, I couldn't imagine that they could do that to me. So until I am in that position and I make that choice, I can't be so sure. Today, for me, anybody who even did as little as planting a needle in my coat, at church is a murderer. Even if they just brought a chair to a meeting where my life was discussed, where the plans to harass me, to abuse me, to violate me were discussed, is a murderer. Being at my church, being a public figure, being in the police, being at the tribunal, being at the hospital, anybody who did something to harass me, to persecute me, is a killer for me. They have killed me and they continue to kill me every single day they do that. And I am already dead since 2022. At least in memory of all those who left us without speaking up, all those who live in fear. So I won't stop. This is my life's goal. I will speak up until my last breath. And I'm not going anywhere, Canada. I'm here until my last breath. I will only stop when I'm dead. So that is it. I will stop here. It's too long. And yeah, just normal people can be murderers. So take care. Ciao, ciao.